If you made it this far into the story, thank you. It means more than you know. This channel isn't just about horror. It's about atmosphere, memories, and the kind of stories that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Every view, every like, and every comment keeps this small corner of the internet alive, a place where stories still matter. If you believe in quiet horror, in storytelling that feels real, and in supporting independent creators who build every episode from scratch, then your subscription means everything. Each time you hit subscribe, you're not just helping a channel grow. You're helping me keep telling these stories, the ones no one else will tell. So if you're ready to keep the lights low, the headphones on, and the nightmares coming, join the family. Candle. Subscribe to Eclipse Horror Stories, and let's keep the darkness alive together. I used to work the night shift at a small diner off Route 17, one of those places that never really SLE. Eps. The lights hum, the coffee burns, and the jukebox skips the same 3 songs over and over. After a while, you stop hearing the sounds. You just exist inside tea. That night started slow. A few regulars came through, paid in crumpled bills, left their usual tips. By midnight, it was just me, the buzz of the neon, and the sound of rain hitting the windows. I liked that part, when everything got still. I was wiping down the counter when I saw him. Booth 7, back corner under the broken sign. A man in a brown coat, facing the window. I hadn't noticed him come in. I hadn't heard the bell. "Sir, we're closed," I said. No answer. I took a few steps closer. His coffee cup was half full, steam still curling above it. That didn't make sense. I hadn't poured a cup in at least an hour. "Hey, buddy, we're closed," I said again, a little louder this tea. "IME." Still nothing. The neon light flickered once, washed the whole room red for a split second, and when it steadied, the booth was empty. I froze. My rag slipped from my hand. There hadn't been a sound. No door, no footsteps. Just gone. I stared at the seat. The cup was still there, but now the steam had stopped. I told myself I was imagining it. I'd been awake since 7 that morning. Maybe I was just tired. That's what I wanted to believe, until I heard the sound. A soft creak from the hallway that led to the restroom. I turned, and there it was, the bathroom door, slowly swinging shut. No wind, no movement, just that creak and the faint smell of wet floor cleaner. I walked closer, my shoes sticking a little on the tile. The door stopped halfway, as if someone had just pushed it. That's when I saw it, a single wet footprint on the floor. Bare, human, pointing toward the back key. Sit. I stared at that footprint for a long time. It was clear, perfectly shaped, wet enough to shine under the hallway light. It couldn't have been there earlier. I just mopped that floor. My chest tightened, but I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe someone came in while I wasn't looking. Maybe a customer had gone to the restroom before I locked the door. I stepped closer. The air in that hallway felt cooler, still smelling faintly of soap and burnt coffee. I pushed the restroom door open with my knuckles. The light flickered once, buzzing weakly, then steadied. No one was inside. Just 2 stalls, the sink, and a mirror. That's when I noticed the mirror was fogged up, like someone had been standing there breathing on it. I wiped it with my sleeve. For a second, I thought I saw a shape behind me, tall, still, watching. But when I turned around, there was nothing. Just the open door and that single footprint on the tile. The back exit was 10 feet away. I decided I'd check it, lock it again, and call it a night. When I reached for the metal handle, it was cold. Too cold, like it had been sitting in a freezer. I tugged, expecting it to be locked, but it swung open on the first pull. The alley outside was dark and slick with rain. Trash cans lined the wall, dripping water. I leaned halfway out and looked around. Nothing. Just the hum of the highway and the neon glow bouncing off wet asphalt.
Then the light behind me flickered again, and I caught it. A reflection, just for a split second, in the window of the door. Someone standing behind me in the hallway. I spun around so fast I nearly slipped, but there was no one there. The hall was empty. The only sound was the jukebox starting up in the main room, all by itself. A song I'd never heard before. A slow, grainy tune, like something pulled from a broken record. I didn't move. I just stood there listening, realizing the song was skipping on a single word over and over. STA? Why STA? Why stay? I backed away from the door and stood in the hallway, staring toward the front of the diner. The jukebox kept looping that single word, stay, stay, until it finally clicked off with a sharp pop. Silence again, the kind that presses against your ears. I walked slowly toward the counter, trying to convince myself it was just a glitch. Old machines do that sometimes. But halfway there, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. Booth 7. The coffee cup was gone. I stopped moving. My heart started thudding hard enough that I could feel it in my fingers. The cup had been right there a minute ago, half full. Now there was only a ring of brown on the table. I forced myself forward, every step loud on the tile. The seat was empty, but the window beside it was fogged up, just like the mirror had been. Someone had been sitting there again. I wiped a circle with my palm and looked outside. The rain had slowed, just a light drizzle now. Across the parking lot, under the street lamp, stood a man in a brown coat. Same posture, same stillness. Facing me, I froze. The glass between us felt thinner than it should have. He didn't move or react, just watched. I tried to tell myself it was a reflection, some trick of the light, but then he raised his hand and touched the window from the other side. I stumbled back, knocking into a chair. The lights flickered again, and in that instant of darkness, I heard the front doorbell chime. When the light came back, the man was gone. The door was swinging open, rain blowing in. I ran forward and shoved it shut, locking it tight. My hands were shaking. I grabbed the phone behind the counter and dialed my boss's number. No signal. The line was dead. I looked around the diner, scanning every corner, every shadow. Everything looked normal again. Too normal. Like the place was holding its breath. Then, from the kitchen, I heard the soft scrape of a chair moving across the floor.
The sound came again, a slow, dragging scrape, like a chair being pushed inch by inch across the tile. It came from the kitchen. I stayed still for a second, listening. The diner was small, and when it was quiet, every sound carried. I could even hear the rain dripping off the roof outside. But this sound was close, too close. I took a step toward the kitchen doorway and called out, "Hello? Anyone back there?" Nothing, just that faint metallic squeak again. I pushed the door open and peeked inside. The fluorescent light above the prep counter was flickering, buzzing like it always did. A stool by the counter had been moved, turned halfway around like someone had just stood up from it. I frowned. I knew exactly how I'd left it earlier, tucked neatly under the table. Something caught my eye near the sink, a trail of water leading across the floor, stopping right beneath the back storage door. Drops kept falling, one at a time, forming a small puddle. I followed the trail, my shoes squeaking softly. I reached for the door handle, but before I could touch it, something thudded hard on the other side. Not once, twice, like fists hitting wood. I froze. Every part of me screamed to run, but I couldn't move. I just stared at the door as the sound stopped. Then a low voice came from behind it. It sounded strained, like it was pressing through something thick. "Can you open the door?" It was a man's voice. Calm, quiet, but wrong. My throat went dry. "Who's there?" No answer. Then the voice again, closer this time, almost whispering against the door. "Please, I just need to come in." I stepped back, shaking my head even though he couldn't see me. I didn't say another word. The handle turned by itself. I backed up fast, grabbed the nearest thing I could, a metal coffee pot, and waited. The door creaked open an inch, just enough for the smell to hit me. Gasoline. The smell grew stronger the more the door opened. Sharp, heavy, the kind that stings your nose. I lifted the coffee pot, hands slick with sweat. The hinge squealed once, then stopped halfway, as if whoever was behind it had paused to listen. "Please," the voice said again, softer now. "It's cold out here." I didn't answer. I couldn't. Every instinct in me said that if I spoke, something would cross that line between the door and the floor. A single droplet of dark liquid rolled under the crack and spread toward me. It shimmered under the fluorescent light. Gasoline, no question. That's when the power went out. The lights snapped off, the hum died, and the whole diner fell into thick, absolute black. For a second, I could only hear rain on the roof and my own breathing. Then came the slow sound of shoes sliding through the puddle. "Stay," the voice whispered again, so close I thought it was in my ear. I swung the coffee pot forward, hit nothing but air, then stumbled backward and slammed into the counter. Something clattered off the shelf, glass breaking somewhere near my feet. I didn't wait to find out what it was. I ran. I pushed through the hallway, past the booths, straight for the front door. The neon sign outside still glowed faintly red through the window, the only light left. I unlocked the door, shoved it open, and stepped into the rain. Cold water hit my face, and for the first time all night, the air didn't smell like gasoline. I turned back once, just to see. Through the window, the diner looked empty again. Calm. The jukebox was dark, the seats untouched. Then the neon flickered twice and Ed. When my boss came the next morning, the door was wide open and the lights worked fine. They didn't believe what I told them, but the cops checked anyway. No footprints, no spilled fuel, nothing moved. Only one strange thing, booth 7. The cushion was soaked, the floor beneath it still damp. The officer said it smelled faintly of gasoline, even though there was no source for it. Now, when I pass that diner on my way home from my new job, I don't look at the windows. But sometimes, from the corner of my eye, I still see a figure in that booth. Brown coat, head turned toward the glass, as if he's waiting for someone to stay just a little longer.